This project's been set up to try and prepare the zoo industry for emergency animal diseases, including foot and mouth disease. So we've produced this Zoo Biosecurity Management Planner to try and help them work through the process of understanding what they can do to try and minimise the risks for their industries.
So the way we've designed the planner is that the first component of the planner itself is a self-audit, and it's really based on the general principles of biosecurity. So you can take any disease and those basic principles should help protect you. So it's thinking about all of the general things that you do on a day-to-day basis in your operation, in your zoo, the things that come into your site, the things that go out of your site, and the hygiene practices and things like that that go on all the time.
So I think we've identified the basic biosecurity preparedness that zoos can undertake in the planner. And that involves making sure that they have quarantine for animals that come into the zoo, making sure that they source their food, bedding, etc. from accredited suppliers, making sure that they know where and when transport vehicles and contracted vehicles are coming into the zoo, and generally keeping an eye on the health and welfare of their animals on a daily basis.
So the Zoo Biosecurity Management Planner will enable us to prepare ourselves in the event of an outbreak of an emergency animal disease within our area, within Australia. By conducting the self-audit, we'll be able to evaluate our processes in place. We will also be able to see where we can improve going forward.
Depending where the outbreak may be in New South Wales, so if it's directly associated with the zoo, then they would have movement restrictions put in place. They would be impacted by any livestock standstill that would be put in place as well. So they wouldn't be able to move animals, there would be restrictions on moving equipment, feed in, and they're potentially, again, if it was in the premises, then they would have to have testing, quarantine, isolation, potentially may have to be some culling of animals. If it's not within the zoo itself, they could get caught up in a restricted area or a control zone, and that again would impact them being able to do their normal business.
This workshop has been absolutely fantastic in helping us prepare. One of the challenges that we always face when there's a risk of an incursion of an emergency animal disease, such as foot and mouth disease, is what are the plans we need to implement very quickly. And this workshop and the Biosecurity Management Planner for zoos is a fantastic resource which will allow us to very quickly develop a plan to mitigate the threat through to our zoo, but also from our zoo to outside if that scenario occurred.
Well, zoos see so many people. In New South Wales there's around about 100 licensed exhibitors, and in 2019 there are around 5 million visitors that came in. About 1.8 were domestic travellers, nearly 2 million were international. So it's really a destination that really sees so many people. It's important from that perspective when you think of the way that disease can be carried, but also around an educational perspective. And zoos do an awful lot of work in terms of community education and conservation work, and you really have that opportunity to connect people with nature. So the perfect opportunity to provide more information to the general public about foot and mouth disease and what can be done to manage it.